at the IAAPA show, and look who's here. None other than Hulk Hogan. Signing autographs for free. And the line is crazy. He's got a new game called Hulkamania Prize Drop. And there he is. Pretty crazy, right? Oops, excuse me.
Sorry?
Is George St. Pierre gonna come?
How do I say it?
Hulk Hogan. Hey, is George St. Pierre gonna come to this show? Huh? Did he come at all? I'm talking about him, George St. Pierre.
Yeah, he's gone now. He's just playing. He's gone.
Oh, okay.
2 days. Yesterday and today.
He was here yesterday? Oh, okay. Whose line's bigger, Hulk's or George St. Pierre? Hulk? Holy cow, I missed out on seeing George St. Pierre. My son River would have literally killed me if he knew that I met George St. Pierre, the famous UFC fighter. By the way, this is an incredible game. When you think about having a game where a lot of people can participate, even if they're terrible at it. 8 people can play that game. If I get space, I'm definitely buying that. So we're in the video game section of this show. And this isn't the video that I'm gonna do on IAAPA. It's a video that I'm doing because we found out, and here's Stern Pinball's booth, right there. The reason why I am doing this video is because IAAPA this year has there's Jersey Jack's booth. You can see that's really cool that they got the stuff over the top. And at any rate, I found out that they have a haunted house section in IAAPA. And it's teeny tiny. And when I say teeny tiny, I mean teeny tiny. Like beyond belief small. And we want to go look at it. And I'm trying to find it as we stroll along. We will find it. You got to go through the north entrance, apparently. And I don't even know where that is. So we're just going to kind of walk along, and I want to say, oh, excuse me. I want to say that's a south concourse. We need to go to the north concourse. Hold on a second. Is this the south concourse? The north is on the whole other side? Okay. All right. We're going to have to walk across the whole entire show. But I am going to rent a little scooter. And I will scoot through this whole show so fast your head will spin. So I can stop at the booths that make the most sense for somebody who's trying to be a small business owner. Now look at these. These are all their inductees for the IAAPA Hall of Fame. And did you notice one of them was Madame Tussauds? If you can even believe that.
No! You let go! Try again to see if
She's been dead for 5 gazillion years. There's no actual photograph or video of her ever alive. But they're going way back. And these are all the inductees that they're putting into the Hall of Fame. I'm imagining a lot of these people are no longer here. Dick Nobles, Nobles Resort. And then we got booths on this side. But we're gonna go up to this haunt section and we're just gonna talk just a little bit about. Now Will Koch, he is dead.
Experiences,
So I'm imagining, so some of these people have already been inducted, it says on the bottom. IAAPA chair, 1935 to 35 to 1938. So yeah, a lot of these people are, I've never seen this before on the show floor, where they put out these people. And by the way, I just happened to notice that they have a different person on the other side. It's pretty interesting. And look at this. Now, I've actually met him. He's also no longer with us. He started Holiday World. His son passed away as well. If you don't know what Holiday World is, it's a theme park in Santa Claus, Indiana, believe it or not. Now, anyway, the IAAPA show has a haunt section this year, and they promoted a haunt section. And apparently it didn't go anywhere. It didn't happen. Look at this though. Hold on, let's make a detour. What the heck does that do? What does that do? Look at that. Cool. Anyway, let's talk about the history of IAAPA and the haunted house industry. They tried back in, I want to say the 1990s, to do a haunted house. Look at this model of a roller coaster. Is that crazy? They tried in the 1990s to do a haunted house section of IAAPA. And IHA was supposed to sell the booths. They did not. IAAPA had to cancel the haunted house section. And they never tried ever again to get a haunted house section going again. Now, from time to time, they've had haunted house vendors here and there. And some have come and never come back. But this year, IAAPA tried. There's a dinosaur. IAAPA tried to get haunted house vendors corralled into a section just for Halloween. Why would they do that? Because Halloween has literally become the biggest money maker now for amusement parks. It's by far the most important holiday for any theme park is Halloween. Some theme parks are no longer even making money unless Halloween does well. So the question is, why didn't any haunted house vendors respond and join in? There's a couple big reasons why a haunted house section is not going to work at IAAPA. One, the people who run the haunted houses, the people who organize them, are not the same people that come to IAAPA. More of a corporate people come to IAAPA, and then more of the entertainment department people go to Transworld. So it's a whole different lot of people, number one. Number two, the haunted house industry does not go to IAAPA, and there's many reasons. One of the reasons is some of them are still open, believe it or not. Or you just ended your season and you're trying to, okay, so there's a food section. So the haunt section is down here. And so another reason is the haunted house industry is like literally winding down. Like going to a trade show a couple days after you close is not on their agenda. Some haunts have to be literally taken down and stored. You don't have time for a trade show. How many people are coming to IAAPA yearly? Haunt owners, I would say less than 100 is what I would say. Less than 100. Less than 100. So this haunt section was supposed to be much bigger. It's not much bigger for obvious reasons. Because you can't get enough vendors to do it, and you can't get the buyers to do it. But here it is. Now Nethercraft pretty much like just took it over, and they're a big chunk of it, and it looks really good. Let's walk in and see what's what. The haunted house section of IAAPA. Hey, what's up?
Hey, how you doing?
Are you doing any good here?
Fantastic.
Well, that's awesome.
We had a really good show.
Well, you got a big display out there. So this is Nethercraft. And Vacuum Form would do really well here because a lot of theme parks are into theming, right? But I would say the biggest part of this show, of this section, is Cyclone Science. Check it out. That's really cool. And then you've got these guys selling fiberglass. Costume company. And then Dogwood Entertainment. They sell, obviously, here you go. Blue Lizard Productions. Never heard of them. Creating worlds of wonder, mystery, and mayhem, it says. There's Carpetbagger. Windhinges Creek got a booth. And guess who else got a booth? Distortions. There's their Banshee. And they got all these animations. And they got the best spot. You walk in and you see Distortions. And they got that beautiful sign there. It's absolutely beautiful. And they got a couple of velociraptors, some aliens. And that's the whole haunt section. And then it looks like there's some kind of walkthrough over here. I don't know what that is. It's called the Haunting Grounds. Let's go in and look. It's like a haunted house. And what it looks like is a vacuum form panels. And look, you can push me and set off animation. And you can set up the animations.
I like that Frankenstein picture.
And I guess this is supposed to be a carved pumpkin out of foam. It's a headless horseman. That looks really cool, by the way. Looks amazing. Dogwood Entertainment. Here's some murals. There's a witch. Look at that, that's cool. So anyway, just continuing on the subject. If IAAPA, and this is just my opinion, if IAAPA was 6 weeks later, meaning like the end of January, let's say, like wait out Christmas. This is when Hinges Creek. Then you have a bunch more vacuum form panels. And then look at that exit, and it leads back into the haunt section. It's really cool that they did that.
No, I don't know that.
Distortions. It's very, very cute. And here's what I'm going to say. Okay, let's talk about this for a moment as we walk down here and see what else is available. IAAPA and Halloween would be a perfect marriage if the show was like in the middle of January. The problem is all the vendors are such small companies. They're building their props and everything all the way through, in some cases, to the end of September. I mean, to the end of October. They don't have time to build new product, to go to a show. It's like, hey, we just shipped our last order, and now we want to like make new product and go to a show. It doesn't work. Haunted house owners for years have known about IAAPA. They don't come. Very few come. Very few. And there are many haunt owners that come, but maybe they come like once every couple years. The timing of the show is the biggest problem. Okay? That's what the biggest problem is, the timing of the show. And I would just say this, and I'll throw it out there because I absolutely believe it's true. If IAAPA was in January, that would be devastating to Transworld. Because you know what everybody would do? They would come here. Because you have so much synergy between IAAPA and Halloween, attraction sign. So much synergy, it's stupid. And it would help haunters double dip. In other words, you would find international buyers. Well, not saying Transworld doesn't get international buyers, because they do. But you would get everybody. It would help IAAPA too, because it would grow their attendance by a ton. It's a win-win. It would be a win-win for the haunted house industry and IAAPA. But IAAPA's not going to change their dates. And that's why the show doesn't work. It'll never work. And so it's cool to see them trying it. And they've tried it before. Haunt vendors have come, haunt vendors have gone. The timing of the show is just the problem. And when you think about it, Transworld being a show in February, it's not that far off. It really is not that far off when you think about it from when Transworld holds their show. But believe it or not, those 3 months that's a big difference, especially for the vendors. Especially for the vendors. And so it is what it is. Transworld is going to continue to thrive despite IAAPA doing this little haunt section. And if it was me and I was a haunt vendor, I would much prefer to be on the main show floor. That's just me. That's where I would prefer to be if I was going to do this. I would want to be on the main floor. So, not here. This is where this is not actually in where the trade show is. This is out across from registration, which seems great, but they have two sides to this convention center. They have a north and a south. So if you come in on the south side, you would never see this. That's just reality. So IAAPA doesn't really have enough space for their show now because it's completely sold out. To add the haunt industry as big as it is, including the Christmas and everything else, they have another convention center. They would have to separate the two shows. They'd have to put the Halloween and all that stuff somewhere else because IAAPA just doesn't have enough space. They don't have enough space, and that's just the reality of it. So you're going to get a handful of haunts here and there. They'll come, they'll go, like always. IAAPA is really not a order writing show. It's a show where you kind of talk to people, you make contacts. That's kind of what it is. I will say that all this vacuum form is done very nicely. I love Nethercraft. It's my favorite company for vacuum form. I love Nethercraft. They're incredible. They're incredible people. Absolutely. And Distortions is incredible as well. I love Distortions. They stand behind their product. These guys are totally, when you order something, you know you're going to get it. And that's the great thing about Distortions. And I have to admit, these carved pumpkins are pretty cool. I like them. But in my view, the haunted house industry will always continue to have its own show. And the Transworld show really needs to be at the beginning of March to give vendors a chance to make new products, to give haunted house owners a chance to take their haunts down and take a deep breath and figure out exactly where they're going for the following year. So I think it's cool that IAAPA's doing some Halloween stuff. I don't think it's going to catch on. That's just my opinion. This vacuum form looks great. Look at that, the way they painted it with black light, highlighted it. Looks fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. So let's take one more stroll through here. Wow, those signs are really cool. I heard somebody say nice things about the Cyclone Science Company. Said they did a great job for them. Everything was fantastic. Now, by the way, I want to mention something else. I heard that the Fear Expo has called it quits. Like, who didn't see that coming? Giving away free booze, giving away free stuff, essentially paying people to come if this is all the facts. That was never going to work. It was just a bad idea. Listen, here's some advice for people who want to do one of these haunt shows. Unless you're IAAPA, like, don't even try, because the haunt industry is really loyal to Transworld, number one. Transworld does a great job, number two. The show is at the perfect time, number three. And you know what the biggest difference is? These like IAAPA, the cost of the show is much more expensive. The booths are more expensive, everything's more expensive. So the people from Transworld is a small business, so you know, they're not trying to fund a big organization. And that's what it is. So it's always going to be more affordable, run by independent people. And I believe that people paid about $2,500 a booth to be inside that section right there. And so hopefully it goes really well for them. It looks really nice. It looks like a very small haunt con. And maybe it gets bigger down the road. But obviously you could see that they didn't have space on the main show floor for this. So how could you host the haunted house industry? You can't. You can't. It can't be done. It can't put this show and Transworld show together. It'll never happen. It would have to go into their other original convention center, which is much smaller, and they would be separated, and that's just the way it is. So I don't think anybody has anything to debate or worry about. IAAPA is going to do their thing, and Transworld's going to be the kingpin of Halloween going forward. That's my opinion. And what I love to see, one big show, everything all in one place, of course, who wouldn't? But the haunted house industry just does not line up with IAAPA. That's what the reality of it is. Nor do they have the space, as you can see. And the other thing is, a lot of the vendors at Transworld can't afford $2,500. You'd lose a lot of vendors. And you'd also lose vendors buying tons of space because they couldn't afford it. It's just the reality. It would make the cost of doing business for these vendors go drastically up. But all the same, IAAPA would be a great fit, just not the dates, and the costs might put a lot of the vendors looking for alternatives. That's my take on it. So hope you've enjoyed this video. We are going to make another video just about the haunted house, just about the IAAPA in general, and we're going to talk a lot about in the next video about, well, you can imagine, we're going to talk about things we see that small business owners could open, especially haunted house owners, what they could open. What do we see at IAAPA that would benefit them? And we already did another video. Should haunted house owners go to IAAPA? They absolutely should. They don't have to go every year. They can go once every 3 years, but every haunted house owner should come to IAAPA, 100%. Absolutely. There's no reason for you not to go. None. Zero. You should absolutely go. And now that they have a haunted house section, it's another reason to go. And by the way, there is a haunted house here too in Old Town, a really nice one. And so you can go to a haunted house as well. So with that being said, we'll talk to you soon. Oh, I'll tell you another reason why to come, is Epic opens next May. And they will have a whole Halloween section open year-round, the Universal Studios Horror Monsters section. I can't wait for Epic to open. And guess where Epic is? Do you guys want to know where Epic is? It's literally across the street from the convention center. It's literally, you could see it depending on what part of the convention center you're at. You can see Universal Studios Epic. That's how close it is. So anyway, we've seen Hulk Hogan, we've seen the haunted house section. So make sure you like and subscribe to our page, because we're always trying to bring you cool stuff. Until then, happy Halloween, everybody.